Assalamu alaikum. I'm
Walaikum
Naila Afi.
assalam.
Welcome to another session with the Read the Studio. We again have missed a week. My apologies for that. But today's session is very close to everyone. Our title, our topic for today is Laws of a Country. For the citizens, a very candid question, a very close question to all the citizens of this beautiful country. मसला ये है कि जो वक्त है जिसमें हम आप सब जी रहे हैं बड़ा मुश्किल दौर है लॉज हैं फॉलो नहीं होते जस्टिस नाम सुनकर ही डर लगता है बड़ा क्लीशेड स्टेटमेंट है करते हैं अपने एस्टीम्ड गेस्ट के साथ we are very honored to have an advocate of High Court. He has his degrees from Great Britain, a great university of Leeds. Thank you so much, Ali, for being with us. Thank you so much for giving us this time. The topic.
My pleasure.
Something that you are best to talk about. So if I can give the podium to you and ask you, can you tell us?
I lost you there for a second. What was I supposed to tell
my
you?
Question. Supposed to tell me justice क्या होता है?
You see, वो कहते हैं ना, much like beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder, justice, unfortunately, in modern times, especially in these very polarizing times that we live in, and they're not just polarizing, they're also very ill-informed and misinformed times, seems to be your version of the truth. Theek? However, if you were to go by the book, it would obviously naturally mean that the truth itself is justice. But when it comes to the system of justice that we in Pakistan have, or is practiced more or less throughout the globe in all civilized nations, is called due process. So justice is ensuring that due process and procedure is complied with. Yani ke, if I was to translate that into slightly easier language, what I would say is that in a scenario where you know, or you may or may not know, someone to be guilty of a particular offense, that the person is irrelevant in terms of the laws in place that govern evidence. So, iski aasan tareen example le. In America, a statement that you give before a police officer is in itself not admissible in evidence. But the police officer can come and take the witness stand and say that I heard him say X, Y, Z. And that statement of the police officer has evidentiary value. But in Pakistan, it does not. So any statement given before a police officer in Pakistan has no value. It is termed an extrajudicial confession. So depending on where you are practicing law, a particular act may be admissible in evidence and another place it will not be. I mean, for example, in Colonel Gaddafi's Libya, you did not have really any rules of evidence. It was just that ek decision aa gayi, it has to be abided by, which is very similar to our panchayat system. Panchayats and jirgas do not follow any rules of evidence, which is why great miscarriages of justice are carried. Another thing that's very important when it comes to justice is the concept of desert and punishment. Now, desert and punishment basically says that you only punish people who know what they have done is wrong. See? Now, keeping that in mind, iska matlab ye nahi ki ignorance of law is there an excuse. So, for example, if someone was driving while drunk and ran somebody over, he cannot plead ki ji mujhe pata nahi tha ki drink driving is mulk mein illegal hai. That's obviously rubbish. But in Pakistan, unfortunately, despite there being relevant laws in place, we have hung people who were diagnosed schizophrenics. Now, schizophrenics or schizophrenia or any other mental ailment that utilize your cognitive capabilities to the fullest, यानी उस चीज को disregard करते हुए हम लोगों को सजाएं देते रहे. So we have not been following due process. Another example of this is this. For example, in England, you can't prosecute someone under the age of 10 regardless of how violent the crime is. And the reason for that is very simple. The child does not understand right from wrong. Matlab, there may be a chance where a particular child was very intelligent and was very wise beyond his years, और उसको age 9 पे पता था कि जब मैं अब्बा की बंदूक लेके मम्मी को कत्ल करूंगा या बंदूक चला दूंगा मम्मी पे तो ये गलत चीज है. But he too will be given that protection. You cannot prosecute a child under the age of 10. You can send him to rehabilitation and stuff like that, but you can't prosecute him for the crime. And the logic behind that is very simple, that you have to have this, मतलब fortunately or unfortunately, आपने जो scale है, जो yardstick है, वो uniform रखनी, सबको judge करने के. That is what due process is. So I hope that has somehow helped in understanding कि justice क्या होती है जी. Justice is compliance of procedure. There's a very funny anecdote on this I once read in the newspapers. There was a judge sitting और दो वकील खड़े हैं और एक बकरी है सामने, and the judge is saying, you know this is a goat, I know this is a goat, but where is the proof? That is what justice is. Justice is you being able to prove that a goat is a goat. There you are.
Yes, this anecdote has made this very clear. Where is the a crime has been committed? You know it, and I know it. Afsos can't prove it. Ali, when I ask you what justice is, the meaning, the definition according to the law books or the Oxford or Cambridge dictionary is very clear. It's very crystal clear. However, when we think about this for places like country or any other country for that matter, where awareness about what are our rights or the law, how does law protect us, we hardly know about that. For example, it's very easy कि लोगों ने कहा कि इस बंदे ने चोरी की, डकैती की, उसको 20 लोग पकड़ते हैं या 200 लोग पकड़ते हैं उसको, अच्छे उस बेचारे को अच्छे से थ्रैश करते हैं, वो मर जाता है, and later on we just say that he was a dacoit and he was killed because he was caught in the action. Now, no one gets punished for that, and later on, pata chalta hai, there was no such thing as a dacoity. This was just an incident that happened. Now, that is where my question comes back here. Do we understand our own rights? Do we give a risk of such things to our youth and to our citizens, or do we just use justice for our own benefit whenever and however we? मैं एक बहुत strong बंदी हूँ, मेरे पास पीछे बड़ी सी backing है, और I can get away with the murder if I wish to. और आप एक गरीब आदमी है, आप नहीं कर सकते. So where does that justice system comes in now?
Acha, this question has many parts because of the example you've used. So, I mean, when you say, Keji, if you're a very rich person, you're a very resourceful person, you can basically get away with a lot of things. This is what Karl Marx said, that law is a tool that the powerful use to oppress the weak. And that, unfortunately, is how it has been. I mean, frankly, when you look at Socrates' criticism of democracy, it was exactly this. Because democracy in itself is not really true democracy, because you can lobby and you can buy people and you can basically build that support. So if you're a rich person, you can get away with anything, anywhere in the world for that matter. Okay? So keeping that aside, I mean, I'll come to this in a bit, power wali baat hai, because it's unfortunately, this is a universal flaw. The first thing that we talked about, where this person allegedly committed dacoity and mob justice ho gayi, or mob ne pakad ke usko jala diya, and stuff like that has happened in our country, unfortunately. Even if the person had committed dacoity, these people would be guilty of a murder by common intention. Because vigilantism is not something that any law in the world recognizes. There cannot be mob justice, even if a person has, committed something as brutal as a rape of a minor. इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि वो मोहल्ले वाले उसको आग लगा दें. That's simply not on. Because if you were to allow something like this for something which did or did not happen, it would basically mean that people would start taking the law into their own hands, and it would defeat the very purpose of law. Law ka purpose hai kya? To regulate society. Civil laws such as contract laws, tort laws are based on what? To regulate how people deal with each other. And criminal laws are enacted to ensure that people behave in a certain way with regards to other citizens. See, that's why we enact laws, to regulate society. So if mob justice happened, wo to cheez hi fought ho jati wahan pe in the first place. So I hope I've answered that portion of your question, whereby you were saying कि जी वो हो गया. And perhaps the fact that such things happen reflects of two things. One, it tells you that people are generally very frustrated. Two, it also tells you that they don't really have any hope from the justice system, which means they don't really attribute a lot of um, a faith in the policing mechanism or the prosecution mechanism. Okay? If that's how I would answer that. Now, whether laws are meant for personal benefit or not, unfortunately, हमारे मुल्क में बहुत ज़्यादा person-specific legislation हो चुकी है. Every time a military dictator is in office, a lot of nonsense is legislated purely because he wants to aid himself, or he wants, disregarding, of course, the fact that वो जिनके खिलाफ वो चीज हो रही होती है. For example, the enactment of the Ehtisab Act, which was the predecessor to the NAB Act, was done by Mr. Nawaz Sharif because he wanted to prosecute Benazir Bhutto's government. And then subsequently, Musharraf came into power, and because he wanted to prosecute everyone or blackmail and arm twist people to join his forces, he enacted the NAB laws. Now, that happens, and it happens a lot, unfortunately. But there is a lot of good legislation out there as well. There was a portion in the middle of what you were talking, you mentioned about something about us not being aware of our rights. I think, unfortunately, I was in England for 7 years, and I did not find that they had any such courses as a part of their middle school or high school studies, and we don't either. You see, but there's a reason that perhaps England can get away with a lapse like that. The reason is that England is in its present form of government after a great struggle that it lasted over 800 years. If you think about it, मतलब Magna Carta से शुरू करके अगर आप modern day पे आते हैं तो it's what 746 years or something. That's a lot of time. So as a society, they have evolved. They have revolted against one form of monarchy, one form of taxing, and etc. etc. And then Oliver Cromwell comes into the picture, and then he was deposed, and the monarchy was brought back. And then in the 1900s and the 20th century, you will find कि उन्होंने अपने वडेरे को जो उनका लॉर्ड्स थे, हाउस ऑफ लॉर्ड्स को उन्होंने किस तरह कमजोर किया, हाउस ऑफ कॉमन्स को किस तरह एम्पावर किया, मोनार्की पावर्स किस तरह कम किया, उसको रेगुलेट किस तरह किया. There's a struggle behind that. We unfortunately don't have that. You see, we just adopted this out of thin air. We had states, or little princely states, if you would like to call them, before the English actually came, and then when they came, they were everything, and then when they left, we sort of just said कि अच्छा जी ये निज़ाम अच्छा है, इसको adopt कर लेते हैं. We truly believe in democracy and truly believe that they are equal to the person that stands next to them, or the person in Lyari is equal to the person in DHA. So unfortunately, हमारे यहाँ वो चीज हुई नहीं है. It never actually happened. So that's our flaw as a society. We adopted something that was not ours, that we still do not own. Fundamentally, you will find that people belonging to any political party, the worker level, the grassroots level, will tell you कि बात नहीं, क्या हो गया अगर उसने ये करप्शन इसने कम की है, इसने काम ज्यादा किया है. No one will tell you things like this person is dead honest, or he's dedicated to whatever he's trying to do, is sending with a message, and that is a flaw as a society. But the other thing that I really would like to comment on is the fact that in institutions such as yours, for example, or the schools that I went to one of the best boarding schools in the country, and then eventually for my A levels as well, I went to one of the best schools there were back then. That was back then in 2004. And there was no mention of any civil, na hum civil responsibilities padhate hain. So obligations of the citizens towards the state, or at least your other fellow citizens, or na hum rights padhate hain. And I wonder sometimes why personal finance and basic rights are not taught in schools at all. I mean, why they are not part of any curriculum? And perhaps that's a question that you could answer. I wouldn't be able to answer that question for you. But you know, this is why people don't know, because it isn't taught. The first time आपको पता चलता है कानून का is जब आपकी प्रॉपर्टी पे कोई केस कर देता है या आपके ऊपर कोई मुकदमा हो जाता है, आप वकील के पास जाते हैं और कहते हैं कि जी ये हो गया, हमें बताएं क्या करना है. They have literally no clue. Most 90% of the time, my clients that do not come from say OA level backgrounds, ठीक है, or unless they've been experienced in personal litigation themselves, such as builders and real estate people, or people who have been incarcerated for some time and have faced a lot of criminal prosecution, उन लोगों के अलावा किसी को law का कुछ पता नहीं होता. They don't even understand the basic ABCs, and that's because हम पढ़ाते नहीं हैं उन चीजों. So there you are. That leads to a lot of exploitation. Just lawyers exploit that.
Years back, when I was a student, we used to have a subject called civics. And that was where the basic responsibilities, the rights, the obligations were taught. And then with the passage of time, that subject.
What year was this? I mean, what? Sorry, not what year of. I'm not asking what decade is what. What I'm asking it, what year of your education was this taught in? Middle school,
this was
high
taught
school?
When I was in middle school. This was a compulsory subject for me in the middle school. And as a student in an all-girls convent school, I actually knew my rights, my obligations, and I knew that if I would give somebody else's rights, only then would I be able to get my rights, because it was a give and take situation. And that is how we would work out. But as with the passage of time, the subject was simply obliterated from the curriculum. We no longer want to talk about the rights of a citizen or obligations of a citizen for whatever XYZ reason.
I'm just trying to understand something. Was it an internally set and internally marked program, or was it something that you actually had to give a board exam for?
We had to give an exam for that.
No, was it an internal exam or was it a board exam?
It was an internal exam.
It was an internal exam. So, you see, वो तो फिर स्कूल का discretion है ना?
Used to be, if you were to see, नहीं, अली school का discretion नहीं है. There used to be the subject civics used to be a board exams subject as well, and people could pick it up. It was a subject, because I have been wondering when we were thinking about this particular topic and thinking how we want to go about it. This is what I have been wondering, that when I was a student, when I was a middle school student who actually was living in the times when Pakistan actually was a beautiful, beautiful place. Karachi was safe. Nobody had to worry about going out and getting mobbed or killed or whatever. So even then we knew. That is why we were taught ki kachra nahi fenkna. I'm coming up with a very mundane thing. Kachra fenkna is again something that we do as our right, although it is violating somebody else's right. My question is, how do we as an institute, how do you as the representation or representative of the justice system of Pakistan try to resolve this issue? Because if we were to think about the type of crimes that are happening, they are no longer simple crimes. I call them simple because breaking into somebody's house, taking away their gold and their money is still not as threatening to their mental peace as taking somebody on a gunpoint and asking for their bag or their mobile or abducting them. So it's
that's an interesting thing to say. Okay, go on, complete your question.
छोटे crimes हमें चोरी डकैती छोटी लगने लगी है as compared to जो अब हमारे साथ हो रहा है. हम किस तरह से resolve करेंगे इन चीजों को? तरीका है.
Well, you see, you may not like my answer. I think that a lot of the, when you say small crimes, some of these are not petty crimes. I just need you to understand something. Theft is when you steal something, right? Theft is when you steal something and you're not using any force. If you're using force, then it is a robbery.
Yes.
Okay? And if there's more than 5 people, that is a daketi in Pakistan's penal code. Okay, so theft robbery is more severe, dakati is more severe, a house burglary is again more severe. Uh, because you've used a weapon, naturally burglary will carry a higher sentence. But when you ask me how we can prevent this, we can't, unfortunately, because they think you have to understand there are two types of people that commit crimes which are related to taking away someone else's property. One are those who are motivated by their personal economic situation. I mean, obviously, they can. No one at the age of 9 or 10 or 11 or 12, which is sort of the time when you decide what career you want to pursue, decides कि जी मैंने डकैत बनना है. That doesn't happen. You're pushed into that life. You know, I mean, the kids may be able to resonate with this better. I didn't choose the thug life chose me. वो वाली चीज. ठीक? So I mean that has to do with the economic situation of the country. For example, I mean, just to put it to you, England is a welfare state. Pakistan, in theory, aims to be a welfare state. England के अंदर you will not die hungry, and unless you live in London, you will not be homeless. ठीक? The state will give you a house. The state will give you a basic stipend to live, to eat, to even go watch movies and stuff. See, which in itself is something I don't personally agree with. I prefer the American model. But you know, uska natija ye hua that you have generations of people who have never gone to work, and entire localities which are called council estates, जहाँ पे लोग track suits पहन के सारा दिन बैठे रहते हैं और सुबह सुबह बियर पीना शुरू कर देते हैं. Because you've created a bunch of bozos, you know, a generation of bozos. But given the state is taking care of you, theft obviously is not acceptable. But what if you're in a country where there is no population control, where you are not penalizing having 10 children, and at the same time you are not providing resources for people to eat? तो जब रियासत में खाने को ना हो तो चोर के नहीं हुक्मरान के हाथ काट देने चाहिए, ये वाली जो लॉजिक है वो तो ये है ना फिर कि why people are committing these crimes. A huge majority of these people are those who have been pushed to this extent. The other is organized crime. Now, organized crime is obviously people who want to turn this thing into a business. You know, जिन्होंने gangs बनाए होते हैं, जो ये काम करते हैं, extortion rackets चल रहे होते हैं उनके पूरे पूरे. और आपको पता है इस शहर के अंदर एक जमाने में कितनी अलग अलग जगहों पे अलग अलग सियासी जमातों ने ये सिलसिला शुरू किया हुआ. And even the religious parties were doing it. They would call it chanda. You know, वो फिर भत्ता नहीं था, वो चंदा था, but वो चीज तो वो ही थी. तो organized crime is, of course, organized crime exists for the simple reason that crime pays and it's easy money, especially in a state that is unable to prosecute you well, where the policing is weak. Police officers have no motivation to prosecute you apart from the wages that they get, which are meager. And defense counsels like me will charge a lot of money for doing a good job, and people will pay. So that's simple economics for you. It's unfortunate, but I mean, I don't suppose how this is going to be fixed without the government's intervention.
Well, I wonder what will be fixed with or without government's intervention. But my original statement that I am talking about this is that can we, by making our youth aware of certain responsibilities and obligations and certain rights, can there be a certain change? Because when you are aware of something, when you know that you just can't be a person, because you see, bigger crimes you do, the smaller ones as you are a child. If you get away with this, you get the motivation to forget about small theft. I understand. I remember a case I read few months back, I think, when a young boy, I think, was caught by the house owners because he was trying to steal some birds or something. Not 100% sure, and he was leashed and he was lynched to death. But whatever the case was, why did he do that? That is something for us to think, or the state to think about. लेकिन क्या को अगर थोड़ा सा अवेयरनेस देते हैं लॉ के बारे में, उनको समझाते हैं कि आपकी ऑब्लिगेशंस क्या हैं, आपके राइट्स क्या हैं, तो क्या कुछ चेंजेस आएंगी. विल वी बी एबल टू मेक एटलीस्ट छोटा सा difference?
Well, you see, I mean, I sort of like where you're coming from, but there is an inherent flaw in this. Um, when you say that that child was lynched to death and we don't know why he was probably stealing because he was greedy, and kids do that. See, that child needed
Hmm.
empathy, not a beating. Because
Hmm.
after all, if you think about it for a second, people like us, people who go to good schools, people who can afford a very decent schooling and stuff like that, and can speak in this particular language with this sort of fluency, usually come from a particular sort of financial background. You know, our phones probably cost more money than our house help makes in the whole year. So how are we not, this disparity that we have in the education system, where simultaneously we are running 5 different curriculums in the same country, where we have so much disparity in how people's living standards, where some people have so much excess that they don't know what to do with their money, and other people, there are people who are struggling to survive on a daily basis. मतलब आप अंदाजा लगाए ना कि phase 5 starts just after Clifton ends, and उससे थोड़ी देर पहले अब्दुल्ला शाह गाजी का मजार है जिसके बाहर होमलेस लोग सो रहे हैं. So the
Hmm.
properties right next to where those homeless people are sleeping are worth billions of rupees. With that disparity in
Yes.
place, no matter what you do with the education that you are providing in your school, or the counseling I can possibly provide someone, how do you fix that? So when the only thing that I believe that education can really do is when you teach people to not only know what their rights are, but to learn to resist when those rights are being violated. And that is a matter of courage, of course. I mean, it's not just knowledge, it's knowledge of the fact that ye cheez galat hai. It is also the courage to stand up
Hmm.
to whatever that galat is and not acquiesce to it. It is, we have to be able to have a moral code strong enough to resist that urge to get away with it easy. It's like you're driving at the age of 14 and your father is okay with it. So when a police officer stops you, what do? You bribe him.
Hmm.
Because at the end of the day, that's what your dad expects you to do, even though he hasn't said that to you. Because that is a natural consequence of you driving at the age of 14. Do you understand what I'm coming from when I
Yes.
make this statement? So you
Yes.
see, it's far too complicated a thing जिसको हम barely education से ठीक कर सकते हैं. However, when we inspire, and that this is where schools really come in. I mean, I attribute a lot of what I've achieved in life to my schooling and my teachers in particular, and individual teachers, not institutions per se, but individual teachers, where they inspired me to behave in a certain way, and I adopted and liked that behavior, and then I was willing to take on the consequences of that behavior, because यहाँ consequence के चालान कटेगा आपकी गाड़ी impound होगी, आप घर रिक्शे में जाएंगे और अब्बा को बताएंगे अब्बा गाड़ी impound होगी, अब क्या होगा? Are you willing to take on that consequence? That is something that school can do, and school can glorify this behavior can be glorified. And once you glorify this behavior and it elevates the student's status among other students for behaving in a certain way, then perhaps you can motivate the student to behave in that certain way. I hope I've sort of answered your question there. I've
I
lost
think
your
I
voice,
lost
unfortunately.
few words at the end. Can you repeat those for me, Ali? There was a
Sorry, if you could just tell me how far you had heard me, because
I think the last few sentences where we were talking about my question, that can the institute do something about it? If you can just repeat
yes,
why.
yes, 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 yes. Okay, देखिए मैं उसको बता ही रहा था आपको. Um, we had a very strange name and shame policy in our school,
Hmm.
my boarding school. So whenever you did something embarrassing, because we would live there, and whenever you did something embarrassing, your name would go up on the board, and everybody knew you had done it. Take, and in a school which I mean, I don't agree with this, and there are a lot of studies out there that show that it's really bad for self-esteem and stuff. But साथ साथ स्कूल में अच्छी बात ये थी कि they would also put up all the good things you did. So, for example, when we as students were required to travel to other boarding schools very regularly for sports fixtures, for speech competitions, and things like that, and whenever any feedback was received regarding any student's behavior, in particular, good behavior. So, for example, if you, I mean, for us in boarding school, it was a big deal to go to Lawrence College in Murray. I went to Chandbagh, so it was a big deal to go to Lawrence College because Lawrence College ke saath hi school there was. So if, for example, somebody was very dignified in how they behaved when they were at convent, our principal would hear about it. And then he would state that so in the assembly. And that meant that our status naturally amongst our peers was elevated. इसी तरह if your school, for example, I don't know assemblies होती हैं नहीं यहाँ पे culture क्या है शहर के अंदर, but if your school can somehow glorify good moral behavior, then naturally people will want to do that. And that's how habits are formed, and that's how moral codes are made, and that's how people perform in a certain way. Dekhiye, you have to consider, I really wish people travel to Singapore and England and see this. But I have seen, and I have actually done myself because मैं उस culture का हिस्सा था, कि there is no one at the traffic lights. The signal is red. There is no police wala. There is no camera, and I stopped. No one was there to judge me, but I stopped because the culture made me do this. The same way when you're driving in England, it's so different from driving from Pakistan. I mean, imagine as a student, I was a pizza delivery driver. I drove probably 400,000 miles while I was a student. And 7 years I drove in England. I swear to you, I'm not kidding when I say that I honked the horn less in those 7 years than I did in the first 7 hours that I was back in Pakistan. I am not kidding when I tell you this. Yahan courtesy culture exists nahi karta. Over there, everyone wants to give you the way. Yahan everyone wants to take the way. So this is something naturally that the school can do. The school can talk about these things and inspire students to behave in a certain way. But naturally, there has to be a reward mechanism in place, right? अगर हम खाली लेक्चर देते रहेंगे तो उसका तो कोई फायदा नहीं है, या पुराने मतलब स्टोरी सुनाते रहेंगे 1400 साल पुरानी, तो they have no relevance in today's world. So perhaps the most relevant thing one could do is have inspiring stories that are real time 2020, and then those people who are part of those stories are glorified as people to be emulated, I suppose.
Inspiration is how children learn, because two things. One, inspired by what their are doing, what their peers are doing, what people they actually think as most of the time we see children behaving, the hero is the father, hero is the older brother. For the young game, hero is the father, and as they grow up, the heroes change. So inspiration, as you just said, inspiration is the best mechanism, and when there's a reward at the end of it, in a way, uska naam becomes goes on the of fame or goes in the dean's list of the best student, obviously things would change. I take this point of yours and I 100% that's how we work. We have a whole series where we talk about our heroes. Another question that I have been thinking about, Ali, and I was thinking about this topic, is that basic rights hote hain as citizens, all of us have those. For example, I agree, hum horn bahut bajate hain, hum traffic light tod dete hain, hum 2.5 साल के 7 साल के 8 साल के बच्चे को गाड़ी पकड़ा देते हैं और रॉन्ग साइड चले जाते हैं और रॉन्ग साइड पे कोई जा रहा हो और आप उसको गलती कहते हैं कि रॉन्ग साइड आ रहे हो, तो दैट पर्सन इज गोइंग टू हिट यू एंड टेल यू सभी रॉन्ग आते हैं. So these are certain things that, क्योंकि बहुत दफा हमें बहुत ये तो पता है कि ड्रंक एंड ड्राइव नहीं है, लेकिन हमें बहुत दफा ये नहीं पता होता कि रॉन्ग साइड आने पर नुकसान क्या होगा. वो छोटी क्या हमें ये नहीं पता होता कि अगर हमें बुली किया है तो हम एक्चुअली उसको साइबर बुलिंग है वो एक्चुअली इज पनिशेबल, या इवन अगर स्कूल में वो बुली हो रहा है वो भी पनिशेबल. क्या ये छोटी छोटी चीजें लोगों को बताने से फर्क पड़ेगा?
अच्छा, ये छोटी-छोटी चीजें, I mean, just coming back to driving offenses, it's funny, right? ये सबको पता होनी चाहिए, and there's a reason for this. I don't even know if you've heard of this, but there is such a thing in Pakistan called the Highway Code, that you are supposed to read, understand, and then go and give your theoretical when you're getting your license. अब वो होता नहीं है क्योंकि वो आपसे 5,000 रुपए लेते हैं और आपका थ्योरी पास हो जाता है, ठीक है। उसके बाद अब इंग्लैंड में the theory test was 90 minutes long. I remember giving it. I was one of the few people who passed it on the first attempt, not because of anything special. I just had मुझे रट्टा मारना बेहतर आता था बाकियों से, तो मैं पास कर गया. My point is that you see our laws are there. ये तो एक implementation issue है ना. Wrong way नहीं आना, इस sign का क्या मतलब है, इस sign का क्या मतलब है. People don't know because of how corrupt the system is. The system is manual. As long as it stays manual, it stays dependent on the person. तो वहां जब तक अगर कोई हाजी साहब नहीं बैठे हुए, ये होगा. इसका तो हम कुछ कर ही नहीं सकते. I mean, ये किसको नहीं पता कि wrong way नहीं आना चाहिए. Imagine, it's just a matter of common sense. If I have to turn left and it is my right to turn left without looking left, because I shouldn't have to look left because nothing should be coming from there. So if something is, that person is endangering his own life, mine, and everyone else he's carrying, and everyone else I'm carrying. But अब वो नहीं है, and only very recently has the police started prosecuting these people. और उस prosecution में भी मसला ये आता है कि वो कहते हैं जी यहाँ बोर्ड नहीं लगा हुआ था कि wrong way नहीं आना. Why do you need a board? It's common sense कि आपने नहीं आना यहाँ से. But unfortunately, that's just how it is. Excuse me. But there's one thing I want to mention, which schools can do. We all know that there is a particular session in every school, somewhere around middle school, when you're in like sort of class 5 or 4, where all the boys are kicked out and told to go to PT, and the girls are kept in and they're given a particular session on something. Okay? इसी तरह, if schools could sort of make out time, I'm very sure that lawyers would be more than happy to come in for an hour or 2 hours and give you lectures on very basic things. कि child abuse क्या होता है? How can you be abused as a child in your own home? What rights do you have of inheritance as a girl if your father passes away? ठीक? What is domestic violence? Domestic violence is now a specifically enactment exist करती है सिंध में domestic violence को deal करने के लिए. People don't know about it. There is a mental health act for Sindh. People don't know about it. So naturally, this is something जो कि seminars के जरिए आप करवा सकते हैं. आम तौर पे दुनिया में होता यह है कि law firms arrange such seminars and people are generally invited to attend, and the firms do it because they want good PR. ठीक? हमारे यहाँ वो business model exist नहीं करता, इसलिए firms don't do such. But schools can do such. Schools, for example, I don't know if you can still hear me, your video has been paused, but I would recommend that all schools with a particular, number of students studying there should have a resident lawyer on their panel, जो कि every now and then they can consult with for matters such as this, because after all, the law is something that affects everyone. Can I be heard?
Yes, Ali. We got disconnected for a few seconds.
I was suggesting that all schools that hold a particular number of students should have a lawyer on their panel who they can consult with regularly for things like this, because you see, the law is something that affects everyone, and people can come in and give a lecture once a month for an hour or two on a particular thing and summarize the law for people. And then, आजकल तो because of how easy it is to find things, people can just Google and see कि क्या चीज क्या है. And I'm sure all your students are tech savvy. So that's one way of doing it.
What makes hopeful that things might become better in a few years is the fact that children now are taking law as a subject and they get inspired by it because they understand the value of law, even if they don't want to study it as a profession. So it is important. It is really important, and it's a very good suggestion that seminars can be held so that people know about things like child abuse, things like their inheritance rights, even domestic violence, because sometimes very small things happen and children have no clue, and then they get tormented by that. So yes, I think hope is always there. We need to start small and hope for big things to happen. Corruption अपनी जगह, मुल्क की problems अपनी जगह, मुल्क system में गड़बड़ अपनी जगह, लेकिन hope नहीं छोड़ सकते. We have to continue to do something so that things would get better, because the laws of a country are to protect its citizens, because a country is all about its citizens, and that is something that we can't go, we just can't deny that. And the whole thing is implementation important है. शायद हमें अपने ट्रैफिक पुलिस वालों को बेहतर सैलरीज की तरफ ले जाना चाहिए, बेहतर लाइफस्टाइल की तरफ ले जाना चाहिए. So maybe they too would
कमीशन पे ले
understand कि
जाना
गाड़ी
चाहिए,
को रोक के 500 रुपए जेब में डालने से बेहतर है
कमीशन पे ले जाना
उसका
चाहिए.
500
इंग्लैंड
रुपए
में
का
तो
चालान कर दिया जाए. अब्बा की
कमीशन पे
धमकी
होती
दी
है
जाए
सब.
तो उस पुलिस वाले को ये एहसास हो कि अब्बा की धमकी will not work. बिल्कुल. So
हाँ, I was saying कि
thank you
कमीशन पे
so
ले जाना.
much Ali for being.
My pleasure.
बिल्कुल.
My pleasure. Thank you for having
नहीं,
me.
बिल्कुल आपने सही कहा, कमीशन पे ले जाना चाहिए. Thank you Ali for being with us. This was a very informative session. Thank you for giving us this time. I know yours is a very busy schedule. Thank you so much, and thank you audience for being with us. I hope that you have learned something today about how the laws are there. Implementation is important. It starts from home. Don't allow your young child to drive not without license. Do not go the wrong way. You know जो गलत है वो गलत है, जो सही है वो सही है. इस उम्मीद के साथ कि हम कभी न कभी अपने आप को बदलने के काबिल हो सकेंगे. Thank you so much for being with me. Signing off from the platform of Reeds School and College. Have a very nice weekend. Allah Hafiz.